Ever wondered what would happen if an 8-year-old boy got to plan Christmas dinner?
Well, you don't need to wonder anymore, because we've made all the food from Home Alone. Yes! So you can watch the movie and eat along with Kevin! Grab your filthy animals and let's have a Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Going for picture, lock it up. Roll camera.
Rolling.
In this series, we're going to show you how to host epic dinner party movie screenings.
It's showtime!
Roll sound.
With recipes to eat along with your favourite characters.
Someone's having a party tonight.
Oh yeah.
We are on in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome to a film club like no other.
Dinner is served.
Action.
Dinner and a movie.
Pizza's here!
There you go. That's $122.50.
Oh, it's my brother's house. He'll take care of it.
Listen, will you be leaving?
Grab yourself a napkin and you're going to have to pour your own drinks.
Mom, does Santa Claus have to go through customs? What time do you have to go to bed?
Early. We're leaving the house at 8 a.m. on the button.
I hope you're all drinking milk. I want to get rid of it. Hey, don't you?
Right, the pizza boy needs $122.50 plus tip.
For pizza?
10 pizzas times 12 bucks. What kind of
Did anyone order me plain cheese?
Well, yeah, we did. But if you want any, somebody's gonna have to barf it all up, because it's gone.
Fuller, go easy on the Pepsi.
Get a plate.
Add 5 grams of yeast to 250 millilitres of tepid water and drop in half a tablespoon of sugar for the yeast to snack on. Pop it aside for a few minutes until it bubbles up. I have 400 grams of strong white bread flour here, which I'm going to hit with a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Drop in a tablespoon of good quality olive oil and then slowly pour the yeast mixture into the well and mix it all together. Once it's starting to come together, it's time to knead. You can knead the dough in a stand mixer or by hand, and it will take about 8 minutes for it to become smooth and elastic. This is a very hydrated dough, so it will be pretty sticky. Resist adding any extra flour and drying it out. It will come together eventually, just pretty messily. When your dough is beautifully elastic, divide it into 4 and shape into balls.
Is this a joke?
This amount of dough will make 4 starter-sized mini Neros. If you pinch for time, at this stage, leave the dough to prove at room temperature for around an hour and a half until it's doubled in size. I'm going to cold proof the dough overnight instead to develop the flavour. Simply stick the dough in a large Tupperware and whack it in the fridge overnight. And the next day, bring the dough back up to room temp for an hour or 2 before shaping and baking. For the sauce, you're going to need a 400 gram tin of finely diced tomatoes, with a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of sugar and a good pinch of dried oregano. And that's the sauce done.
It's almost too easy.
For the cheese, I've got a combo of firm mozzarella and a smoked scamorza. About 150 grams should do it. Please, please, please grate your own cheese. It's cheaper, it's tastier, and the anticoagulant powder that's on pre-grated cheese ruins its melt.
I'm begging you, from a mother to a mother, please.
Press your dough with your fingertips and work it from the centre outwards.
I'm not that lucky.
When you've formed a circle, lift up the dough and holding onto the edge, slowly rotate it. This is called the gravity method, because we're letting gravity do all the work to stretch the dough. Make sure you're not squishing down the edges. We want a slightly thicker rim to form our crust. Today we're making mini starter size pizzas, but you can obviously use the same dough to make larger pies. I'm going to use a pizza peel to transfer this bad boy into the oven. To stop it sticking, sprinkle over some fine ground semolina. As ever, any equipment used in this video is linked in the description box below and on our website. Spoon on a little sauce. Less is more when it comes to pizza toppings. An optional sprinkling of parmesan is a personal fave, but feel free to skip this step. Then go in with a layer of the mozzarella and scamorza.
We're thirsty for more.
But seriously, less really is more. My oven is preheated to 270 degrees centigrade fan, with the pizza stone near the top. This is going to need about 5 minutes. To make sure that the bottom stays crisp, leave your pizza to cool on a wire rack. For a little extra drama, serve up your little pizza in a little box adorned with a little Nero's little face.
A lovely cheese pizza just for me.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
All right, Johnny. But what about my money?
It's a little too soon for a Sundae, so we'll circle back to that. And for now, let's have a little snackety snack on these delectable crisps. I'm using Maris Piper potatoes for my crisps. Yes, that's right, I said crisps. These are chips, and these are crisps.
What?
Using a mandolin is the best way to get the slices thin and even. If you don't have one, then get that knife sharpener ready. The potato needs to be cut evenly so that it cooks evenly.
Decorations hanging from every tree make me wish my baby was here with me. Say, ooh, Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh.
Soak your sliced potato in a bowl of cold water for about half an hour. This will draw out the starch and stop them from sticking together during frying. Heat up a couple of inches of oil in a heavy bottomed pan. You need to use an oil with a high smoke point for this, such as a groundnut or a vegetable oil. Once this hits 180 degrees centigrade, you're good to go.
Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh, Merry Christmas, baby.
Make sure that the potato slices are fully dry before frying, or you'll get smacked in the face with hot oil. These will need about 5 to 7 minutes to cook through and become a beautiful golden brown.
Now Santa's flying over land and sea, and every kid is dreaming of what's under the tree. And on Christmas morning, much to my surprise, what I wanted most is there before my eyes. Say it, ooh.
Crunch taters have been discontinued, and sadly I never got the chance to sample them. So we're throwing caution to the wind and knocking up a best guess barbecue blend. 2 teaspoons of paprika, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of light brown sugar, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon of smoked salt, and finally half a teaspoon of black pepper. Mix those all together and toss the crisps into the seasoning. These crunchy delights can be made a day ahead and stored in an airtight container.
I can't wait that long.
Merry Christmas, baby.
Attention, look what I have found in the kitchen.
Frank, those are for later. Frank?
Mes petits enfants, do you want a little shrimp, huh?
Do you speak English? Parlez anglais?
Grab yourself a big old serving dish and lay down some washed and dried lettuce to make a cosy little bed for your shrimpies. This platter is impressive looking, but super simple to put together. You can make it simpler still by using pre-cooked prawns and shop-bought sauce.
That's a good idea. Of course it's a good idea.
Personally though, I think cooking the prawns yourself makes for a juicier bite. I just deveined these prawns and gently poached them for a couple of minutes until they turned pink. If you fancy making your own cocktail sauce, it comes together in a matter of minutes, and you can find the recipe on our website, fightclub.tv.
Bless this highly nutritious microwavable macaroni and cheese dinner and the people who sold it on sale. Amen.
Unless you make it from a box, you can't make this dish without cheese, and personally, I love the nuttiness and tanginess that comes from using a combo of Gruyere and cheddar. You're going to need 400 grams of your weapon of choice. Do I need to beg you again to grate your own cheese?
I don't think so.
To make the sauce, melt 50 grams of butter in a saucepan. Sprinkle in 50 grams of plain flour. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, the same of onion powder, and a teaspoon of paprika. Give that a couple of minutes. You want to cook out the flour and bloom the spices. Slowly pour in 600 millilitres of milk, whisking as you go to prevent lumps from forming. Heat the sauce for a couple of minutes until it thickens a little and coats the back of the spoon. This can catch easily on the bottom, so keep things moving in there. Once thickened slightly, turn off the heat, hit it with 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard and half of your grated cheese. Pop on the lid and stick it aside for a couple of minutes so that the cheese gets ooey gooey and melty. A higher quality slow dried pasta like this retains a little bite after baking, so it won't break down and absorb all the sauce, making your bake feel dry and mushy all at the same time.
Horrible. Horrible. Just horrible.
Cook your pasta in a large pot of salted water for a minute or two less than the package instructions. You can bake everything in one large dish, but I'm using individual skillet pans so that everyone has their own portion. Sprinkle your remaining cheese on top. You can leave it there, but I like to add a little breadcrumb topping for some added crunch.
Nice tip, thanks a lot.
Just mix 20 grams of panko in with a tablespoon of melted butter, 1/8 of a teaspoon of paprika, and an optional hit of parmesan. This wants about 20 minutes in an oven preheated to 180 centigrade fan, until it's bubbling golden and oh so delicious. If you fancy, a final flourish of chives makes for a lovely bit of contrast. Oh my god, a vegetable!
You're sick, you know that? You're really sick.
Okay, now it's about time to circle back to that Sundae.
That effect.
How much do I owe you?
AC said 10%.
Too bad AC ain't in charge no more.
What do you mean?
Guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me.
Replicating Kevin's giant sundae is super simple and is the cherry on top of the meal. If you set up a little sundae bar with bowls of different toppings and goodies, then your guests can get involved and get their sundae exactly how they like it.
How do you like it, huh? You jerk!
Be sure to include Kevin's faves: whipped cream, marshmallows, cherries,
and a bottle of chocolate sauce. If you want to up the ante and make your own chocolate sauce, then you can find our simple and indulgent version over on our website. And for a final flourish, I picked up these cute little Home Alone edible decorations for only a couple of quid. If you want to get your hands on them, they're linked down below in the description box.
tablescape ideas, equipment links, full recipes, time codes of when to serve each course are available on biteclub.tv. Remember, the first rule of Bite Club is you talk about Bite Club.